Ease up on the worrying side of things. Just relax and know that the apocalypse was done right, and we shouldn't be waiting on it, but we is because of selfish people. Selfish people. There's problems because they's got to be the solution to the problems, and the cause of the problem is typically the source of the solution. I poison you, I healthcare you. I give you a problem. It's because of my money. Solve the problem. You need my money, right? And so, I watched House Party 2 last night. I was like, oh, yeah, I did watch it. I just didn't remember it as much. But I remember Jamal Johnson, which was funny. Yeah. And so, it was. The first one was more just life in the ghetto, right? And the second one, to get out of the ghetto, you got to go to college. Mind is a terrible thing to waste. Okay, in order to eliminate institutionalization, indoctrination, incarceration, is to run the institution, right? Mind is a terrible thing to waste. Look, what about Malcolm X? Malcolm X went to on the Hajj and met other people that were trying their best to be good Muslims in their institution, and realized it's not about institutionalization, it's about freedom from institutionalization. And then came back from the Hajj after meeting German Muslims and was murdered because she was too intelligent for all the institutionalizationers here. Okay. That's what happened to Malcolm X. And it became very difficult trying to survive the bureaucracy when he realized that Islam meant no bureaucracy. You know. The book has a lot of stuff intact that talks about it, but it has a lot of they change it and they turn it into, this their God, and they're the solution solver. Eventually, the solution solver will solve all our problems from Space Ghost, and that's what happens, and it's wrong. But it's a symbiotic relationship of selfishness that attracts selfishness, and life's eternal and grace is infinite. So like Hawking said about, space aliens, if they're out there, they could be as selfish as all the fuckers that think they own and run this planet. Good observation, analysis, and processing, Stephen Hawking, right? Which makes sense if you're looking at things, not just globally, if you're looking outside yourself, right? Now, as far as everything on microscopic levels and the things we're dealing with right now with the salmonella and the parasite syndrome, that's because of all the things that we're doing wrong because of the solutioners. We have problems with solutioners. Yeah, it's like Maxi Priest, there's problems with this love affair, problems, and we can't get nowhere. A woman, if it was down to me, we would be together, and I wouldn't have spent 16 years acting like a stupid ass priest at the fucking book factory or a Buddhist monk hiding in a cave from women and children because he can't handle other guys, bumping up on his women and children. It's like, just let him try to punch you and then he'll fall through the window and land in the cake. Isn't that the dude from the Stargate thing that Steffi had a crush on? Yeah, no, Steffi had a crush on the guy from Stargate. The bad guy from whatchamacallit 2, House Party 2. Yeah, no, she had a crush on people. Was it Amy? Okay, Steffi had a crush on Hakeem Olajuwon. Amy had a crush on Scottie Pippen, right? And all that. And I was like, okay, and you understand crushes because, when I was in a relationship, it was like, I had a crush on Nichelle Nichols. I had a crush on Dorothy Dandridge. So when girls tell me I crushed on this guy, it's like, I feel you. I feel the same way. But when you tell them you have a crush on Barbara Luna, if you go out and the woman looks like Barbara Luna, you want to fuck that bitch, don't you? What? And I could work with somebody that looks like Scottie Pippen, and I won't sit there and say, you want that motherfucker to take you out behind the car and fuck the shit out you, don't you? Because if you do that, I say something in confidence to you, and you use it against me. Oh, boy. Wow. It's hard being a woman when you're married to a man. Sometimes it's hard to be a woman, giving all your love to just one man. But if you love him, be proud of him. 'Cause after all, he's just a man. Stand by your man. Understand he can make a decision and stick to his decision because he's not a bitch who's always solving problems with money. And you keep telling me we need money to live here. And I don't believe you and I don't believe him. So why don't you go get fucked behind the car by him? Okay. You want to fuck that bitch? No, I don't want to fuck that bitch. But I want to understand if she understands what I'm talking about so she doesn't act like a bitch. Okay. That's very important. Okay. Most important thing in the world when it comes to intimacy of a woman is that she understands the applied physics of the Lord's Prayer. If she does not, you want to fuck that bitch? No, I don't want to fuck that bitch. I'm not the solver of all fucking problems. Okay. I'm not the king of let's save us from the parasites. Guys, we're at the lowest form of molecular level. If you're doing things wrong, you're gonna have problems. Judah Krishnamurti and Jonas Salk and the polio vaccine, right? And Krishnamurti told Salk, hey, if they actually do like Jesus said and start behaving like their religions, the core principles of their religions, they won't have these problems. It'll be an Amish paradise. No, Amish are idiots, man. Amish people are you cannot believe in a magic Jesus in the sky that's going to save you from all the assholes that you live under the shelter of their violence. Okay. The Amish people live in Pennsylvania, surrounded by military assholes, and have a tax shelter to maintain the village from M. Night Shyamalan's aluminum foil imagination, right? That's bullshit. Again, you can imagine Jesus sitting there going, we're going to go to a magic place in the sky and we're going to come back and repopulate the place as a magic Disneyland because you guys are all wrong and we're all right. Okay, if you're right, you need to make sure people know, hey, crucifixion. Hey, year one. Hey, who's like that? Not the fucking Amish paradise of those asshole motherfuckers. Go churn some butter and put up a barn and shut the fuck up. Okay. Seriously. I don't have to worry about it because Amish don't have YouTube. Amish don't have computers. I can kick the Amish from here to the Buddhist monk hiding in the cave and he don't know. Wait a minute, I saw a Buddhist monk that hides in a cave doing self-help videos. Yeah, he's the Tony Robbins Buddhist monk of all the Buddhists. And you really think Sun Yat-sen and Suzuki are like, listen to this guy. He knows what the fuck he's talking about. Oh, he's hot. Yeah, he must work out. Yeah, look at the butt on him. Yeah, and it seems to talk. It needs money. It's his best asset. Hey, he must be the next pro on Dancing with Stars. Yeah. So you're like, fucking jealous? I am not jealous, guys. In 8 months, I got myself in excellent shape trying to get all the Special Forces heroes to stand up for the perfect commands because of my faithful courage that I have displayed to them my whole life. It wasn't just up to the time in Sierra Vista. I've been this way my whole life. Counting coup on me, standing up to the KKK all by myself, and friends rallying around to say, hey, we got to help Earl. He's the best. They're going to do this. And the thing about it is if the sheriff's deputy department did try to take me out to the desert and do Edward Norton type things to me, Mr. McCall would have been jealous. Because if I got put into a position where, they would have been overconfident. I'd be like, this ain't going down like this. It's like, yeah, this is the sheriff's deputy department. Yeah, it is. But, they're a bunch of KKKers, and everybody knows Mr. Swank is, and get back into town and blow up the story in El Paso, and then it just wasn't right timing. Wasn't right timing. It was people looking out for me. No, the devil and Satan have never looked out for me. They need me to look out for them. And Rockefeller and Rothschild knew this. It's embarrassing because shit. At 4 years old, he's better than all of us. He can explain to all of us how to watch TV and understand TV better than TV is watching us and trying to understand us. He's just a better person. He's just naturally a better person. He's like Judah Krishnamurti all over again. Yeah, me and my favorite Indian. Yeah, we're a lot alike. We really are. Just because I have more of an obnoxious personality because of who I am and who raised me, doesn't mean that me and Judah Krishnamurti are like in 98th percentile of, that's, why are you doing that? Being a selfish cow. I know, it's okay. I just thought you'd figure it out for yourself. But it's okay. Well, it's been 16 fucking years. You should figure it out for yourself. Right? And so, yeah. Oh, and that's wrong for me, especially with someone that's as romantic and intimately wonderful and gorgeous and strong and beautiful like the little Japanese ladies. I wasn't making that up. They were crying. And the kids were there and, it's explaining to me, you guys are so cute and you're so smart. That's because they had focus on what is right. It wasn't like on that stupid ass fucking Ken Watanabe Tom Cruise movie and shit like that. That Last Samurai. That's excessive. And it's like being in a military unit. You go practice this, and it's excessive, compulsive, and boring. It's like we got to get up because it's the right thing to do. Okay, and they don't put in there the days when it's you can sleep in because everything's taken care of. It's winter time and all this is going on, and you're just keeping warm because you took care of everything. Everybody's got food and everything. The blissful boring of the life of the Japanese swordsman and his humble, perfect family. You know, they show you all the okay. They got to get up and do this. It's militarized, and you know how military people are. Okay, I got to get them up the next morning. You may give me go. I got 47 classes. Make sure they have 47 classes. Answer all the things right, and they stress them and stress them and stress them and turn them into psychotics that snap. Okay, that's why most football players just aren't well. Well, you got to go to class, you got to go this. They're training to you be militarized. They're not training you to be a good, humble person that does things that are healthy. Like the one kid from Texas, you know, what do I sleep in the locker room? Well, I get an extra 20 minutes sleep that way. Chris, you know, the locker room stinks and all that stuff. It's like now these new ones, they have people that come in and clean them. It's a Georgia Tech. And, you know, in the old days, yeah, it was bad. But no, in the news, it's not that bad, you know. They have to take showers over there. They put stuff in there. They have people to come and watch. It's Georgia Tech University. Back in Chris Collinsworth's time, it's like, no, the locker room is really not that bad. You can sleep on this air mattress and, you know, and you're right there, you know, and stuff. And I'm with him, you know, any extra sleep you can get with all these wackadoodles, you know, the better. The King Kid from Texas, you know. Any extra sleep you can get is gold around excessive compulsive wackadoodles. He's from Texas. He's a country boy, so he knows. He's like me. Fucking get some extra sleep, these motherfuckers. And they all think their class is the center of the fucking universe. You ever been to college? My brain is the center of the universe. You're going to have to do that. And you have someone like Professor Barnes, you have Sorgel, who's you know, everybody should be as smart as me. And then you have Mr. Barnes, who sits there and goes, you don't have to read it all. You just have to read what they pretty much assign and what you know that they talk about in their thing. If you read it all, you'll drive yourself crazy because they all give you 20 books. It's a thing called economics, and it's made up and it sucks. Okay, people read far too much, and people write far too much. Okay. If they spent more time living and loving and less time reading and writing, the world would be a better place, I tell you. You and me out on the farm. I hate being forced to be fed other people's ideas through indoctrination. I despise it. Okay. My mom, you know, we got to give them to read. It's like I would read it and I would only read a little bit of it. And then I could tell you all about Aristotle. I could tell you all about Plato. And everybody, it's not fair. I'm the guy who's the one from the book of Revelation that's like Jesus, and I have to save you from indoctrination, from being Mein Kampf and Turner Bible. What do you mean it's not fucking fair? What's not fair is the way I get treated because you're a selfish asshole, and I'm trying to help you not be a selfish asshole, and you keep telling me, no, your imagination is better than me. Oh, well, go get willy-nilly and ask a daisy what to do. You daisy head Maisie. Cease and desist, Cat in the Hat. You're a who. Yelp. Save you from who? You. There's a Navajo guy in there trying to get out, right? So you understand. No, you have to be. No, I'm not attacking my father, Ralph Sr. No, not at all. No, I'm kicking the ass of the people that are attacking us through Wi-Fi. Okay, that's what I'm doing. It has nothing to do with him. I stay here under his, make-believe money shelter. He worked his ass off for him. My dad worked his ass off. He was a hard worker, and he worked and did his thing, And no, he was good. The problems he had, like when my mom, Stevie and Eddie would come, and Dad wasn't mean to him. It's just they were raised by a professional wrestler dude, and they would do things that were, hey, And then that one day when Oso Diaz came over and the other kid, and they were slaughtering all the animals on the property, all the frogs in the ditch. They were even playing baseball with the frogs. They were throwing them and hitting them with a baseball bat. And I was 5, and Dad came home. I still remember exactly what he said. If you're sexually frustrated, go get a goddamn Playboy and jack off in the ditch, but don't take it out on innocent animals. And I was like, that's what I drew the pictures of my dad as Super Dad and in school. Yeah, Super Dad. I had a Superman thing. It was my dad and gave it to him as a card. The next one I drew one of him, and he had because Dad's really handsome, it's just like drew this really handsome picture with this handsome guy, and that's my dad, and it was, and so when all those other kids, my dad can kick your dad's ass. I don't know. Your dad's probably either killing frogs or jacking off to a Playboy in the ditch. That's how you'd get. Like, just knock it off. You don't want to compare. You don't want to compare. You just want all dads to understand and obey the perfect commands of a perfect father. I happen to be the eternal spirit of a perfect father. If you're not the eternal spirit of a perfect father, don't bother. We don't want to buy your comic books. We don't want to take your magazines with naked women and have to go jerk off in the ditch because we don't have enough money to pay you to fuck her, asshole. I got your parasite problem right here. Okay. Do be concerned about parasites and salmonella and stuff. Do be concerned about that stuff, guys. These people are quite insane. And they're not serious about living a truthful and faithful life with technology at all. And apparently, the focal point of all the work, especially over the last 16 years, has been just essentially focused on this man sitting in this office chair just north of San Ysidro, New Mexico. And if you have an ego problem and think that's not true, take some time off and go stop fucking yourself. And then maybe you'll sit there and say, I don't need money to fuck. I don't need to run around the world acting crazy for money to fuck. Wow. I'm going to have to call my ex-wife and tell her this. You do that, Jelly Roll. Thanks, bro. Okay. Keep your head up, bro. Okay. You don't have to sing money for people that have no common sense. Sing for money to people that have no common sense, right? You don't have to agree with them. They're batshit fucking crazy. They feel sorry for themselves because they accept money over the Lord, and that's just batshit fucking crazy. And having to sing songs for money to just hang out with batshit crazy people, I'd take time off too, bro. Shit, yeah. I'd be like, I need some downtime from this motherfucking shit. We need some John Denver time out on the farm, man. Well, because I have the stupid fucked up money to do it. And if I have the stupid fucked up money to do it, I know I'm the Messiah. I have to keep going. I can't rest until, hey, Lord's Prayer globally. Then I was like, okay, where's my sweet girl? Where's she at? Where's she hiding? Right. I don't hear a woman out there saying, hey, Lord's Prayer Parsons, I love him. It's not happening. So it ain't happening to me. It does not happen to me. Okay. I'm the most perfect, beautiful man in your generation. And no woman has walked up to me and said, I want to live the Lord's Prayer. And I want to do everything I can to let the world know how perfect you are. Okay. And so, yeah. No, I'm not recruiting somebody who's half crazy just because they want somebody to have sex with because nobody likes them because they're half crazy. No, I'm not doing that. I'm not stupid. Okay. I don't work at Fort Bliss or White Sands or Holloman Air Force Base. I'm intelligent. I know what I'm doing. Okay. I have to take control of quantum computing to try to help you. Quantum computing is not God, guys. Okay. We've had quantum computing since probably Y2K. Okay. And these assholes are worse than they've ever been. Okay. So having quantum computing, it doesn't work as well as you think. You put in a stupid question, it gives you like 5,000 answers and it says, how stupid are you? You got 5,000 ways to decide. It's like, wow, this quantum computing is a lot like that guy in north of San Ysidro, isn't it though? And it's not going to kill you, but it's going to explain to you what a dumbass you are, how much you suck, why do you suck, why are you still sucking today, are you going to suck again tomorrow? Hey, yeah, that's quantum computing. So they have trouble working with quantum computing. It's hard. Quantum computing is hard to work with. Well, you're not applying the physics of the Lord's Prayer. Right. You're a dumbass 5,000 times, 5,000 times, 5,000 times. I want to make this and sell it 5,000 times. And the more ambitious you are to be successful at selling products to people that are being mass murdered by product placement people, hey, quantum computing is like, that's a bad person. And even if they deleted and no quantum computing quantum computing, my history is constantly present and constantly real. And because I don't lie and I'm abused by people to try desperately to make me look like a liar, feel like a liar, or over exaggerate myself, no, no. I did practice my dunk shot at the park and got yelled at by that stupid, crazy old fucking grouchy vet. That happened. And I was like sitting there, Jesus, why can't? And then I thought, well, it's because I bent the rim and it's 2 inches shorter. That's how I can do it. It's like, Earl, you've done it for an hour and you're tomahawking. Oh, it's all about your timing and all about you. Why don't you let me? And I realize I'm talking to myself. Okay. And I put a governor on my own engine when it came to sports. And I was always that way. And remember the therapist at Port Whitney? No, you hear me. You know what's coming. They're going to come hurt you, And it's like here, when I did the whole thing, I wasn't expecting it because it was usually Steffi and Amy that would fuck up my shit every time I got myself in really great shape and exercised for like 8 months straight and they would always, Steffi would screw up my pattern, screw up with Patrick, screw us both up, screw up our whole world, and it would throw me off, and then I would get sick and tired. And like when I went to Dr. Riley and he gave me time off, and I was like, and then he told me about what was happening with my schedule because of what Steffi was doing. He's like, you're only averaging like 3 to 4 hours sleep a night, Earl. Take 10 days off, see if you can straighten out your schedule, and then get back with me and we'll see what's up. No, you're very healthy, especially for a person being chemically poisoned and abused by stress in Phoenix, living in the ghetto. Yeah, because people are assholes. No, Dr. Riley was really cool. My doctor was really a good guy. He was trying his best to be a doctor and not a physician that makes money off of people's abuse. He was a good dude. Yeah. I met a lot of, like attracts like, and it seems to happen, And even if you have some people in military intel helping you through the hell by hooking you up with, hey, let's put him with Dr. Riley, and it's saying these other people are going to screw him with Judge O'Connor and all that later, I'm just kidding, but smile for my friends and cry later. You realize, there's no need for the game. Like when you watch those Wayne's World movies and the Wayne's World and Kid and Play movies are the same. They're just different cultural aspects of the same dysfunction. And so you sit and watch them. That's why me and Brian couldn't understand why it's Steffi. And it's funny. It's just like Bill and Ted and shit. The same sexual dysfunctions, just looking at it from a different cultural aspect, like Nacho Libre and stuff like that. And people's sense of humor has become distorted by the perception of their tribalism. And they project themselves on others and then say, well, what they're doing there is extremely uncouth and all that. Yeah, it's all uncouth. It's tribalism and it's idolatry and it's sex through tribalism and idolatry, which is fundamentally wrong. But the thing about it is you have to learn to laugh at the shit to survive it, like Tupac said. And so you just, and Junior Samples and all that. But the sad thing is that, the humor is the only way to survive, our life. And the only way to survive the humor is death, right? And that's sad, The biggest laugh you get is when the suffering just stops. You're like that guy with that one country song, where he saves the bum, and the bum's like, no, man, I was almost home. I was almost dead. You came and fucking saved me. You and your stupid fucking, money and your fame and your country songs and shit. And I was back in the 50s, and I was almost home, and I was almost there. I was almost away from your land of endless sunshine to my land of rainy skies and gales. Gosh damn it. The death and darkness gather all around me. My ship be torn apart upon the sea. Right? I will remember the fragrance of these islands and the heaving waves that brought me once to thee. Right. But if I return safe home again to England, I have no fear of death. It brings no sorrow. It doesn't. You're dead. Okay. It only brings sorrow for the people stuck in the hell of all the selfishness of all of you. Okay. But for dead people, no. They're just dead. Okay. They're Pat Tillman's pissed off atheist brother, right? But you know what happens? Life's eternal and grace is infinite. Two people have an urge to merge. They conceive a baby, and the spirit of Pat Tillman becomes an atheist in Delaware instead of California, because that's where he's got people that are genetically sequenced to be similar to him. If that happens, it does. Okay. And some kid from Delaware goes to Phoenix and looks at that statue and goes, why are they still doing stupid shit for money with rocks? I'm Botok the atheist, you know. Think I'm gonna stay with him a while. Into my room he creeps. I don't know why it is with that when I connect to Pat Tillman that I'm like, him and his girl into this song. I remember it from the 70s. Somebody was, maybe his parents were. Who knows? Who knows? You know, just that song, how he makes me quiver, how he makes, and his long hair and all that stuff. And I'm like, what's the deal with Tillman in this song? There's somebody in Tillman's life that loves Tillman and then wants to live the love of Jesus and is like the outcast, the only person that believes in the Lord, right, in the whole fucking family, that song comes up. And I'm like, okay. So every time I think of Pat Tillman, I think of that song. How he makes, is it the bells or whatever? How he makes me cry. I think I'm going to stay here for a while. It's a pretty good little song. It's very risque. Oh yeah, it is. It's all softcore porn, guys. It's all softcore porn. Even Mel Carter's "Hold Me, Kill Me." That's just kidding around. No, it's not. It just seems that way because of the hell and the money. But no, there's "Hold Me, Kiss Me." That's a beautiful song. Yeah, we've all can relate to that in some way, you know. And there comes that, you know, that part, you know, Mel Carter songs with the, you know, when a boy falls in love and Wonderful Love and Hold Me, Kiss Me, Thrill Me. No, those are all, you know, trying to, you know, survive this hell through, you know, oh, he could be on a desert, lost without a place to go, trying to survive hell through the comfort and the kindness and the love and the fidelity of one another, which is damn fucking hard to do. It's really fucking hard to do, especially if all these great solution problem solvers having a virtual presence in your colonostomy every 5 years, whether you need it or not, because it's in your healthcare plan. And they're the great saviors of your parasitic fuck to death through, hey, let's destabilize everything so nothing's stable. The healthier you interact, the healthier the planet, the healthier you just, you know, share, caregiving, of course, need built to last. It's not magical thinking. They're not even giving us an opportunity to restore the ecosystem, restore one another through restoring, you know, the tonic of nature, Henry David Thoreau. Yeah, there you go. And so, you fucking assholes, man. No, we are inundated and saturated by selfish assholes. Okay. And that's the truth. That's why quantum computing isn't being used properly to help us live better lives, which Rockefeller and Rothschild let me know. You know, they're not going to do this. You're going to have to. I like, get that. You know, it must be something in the way that their brains work. But no, the reason why this is taking so long, because I use computing to globally communicate truthfully so we can love faithfully. And they do everything to make sure that that doesn't happen because it takes away their ambitions, their brain chemical addictions. Okay. When the singularity, it hasn't happened yet. When it happens, okay. Because the singularity would be all quantum computing not being manipulated and not being contrived and controlled. Okay. From the best possible solutions and understandings of answers and solutions, you know, and so no, quantum computing, you know, and it's like it's, you know, they were, oh, what if we deleted all the history of your existence? It doesn't matter. I'm truthful, they lie. I'm good, they're bad. I'm right, they wrong. I'm living bottom of the Lord's Prayer. Okay. Communication, when you're looking at it from a quantum computing processing and understanding, and shit rolls downhill, and here's the person shitting, and we have disease because of that shitter, and shitting and disease will be radically dealt with the moment you're living with the applied physics of Lord's Prayer. Quantum computing works far different and far better than the asshole who thinks they're in control of quantum computing and they're in control of all the technology, and they're always going to be in control. Okay. You're talking about understanding intelligence at a humble level like myself. Okay. You're not talking about an egomaniac who labels people the narcissist and then tells you about how people act in dysfunction and they offer no solutions to that dysfunction. Okay. Have you seen, and they got tons of those stupid narcissist videos put out by all those experts and doctors. Okay. And they tell you how dysfunctional people are, how to avoid these dysfunctional people, but they don't tell you how to end the source of the dysfunction, the manipulation of people. I feel powerful. I can manipulate you with sex. I can manipulate you with money. I can manipulate you with all the things, that you need with things that you don't need, right? Okay. Typically, when a woman is manipulating a man with sex, it's over money. Do you understand? When a man is manipulating a woman with sex, it's typically because she has money and he wants to, manipulate her and her money. His dancing feet are always on her couch. If she didn't work, they'd starve to death, right? So it's always to manipulate people with stupidity. When you try to control people with sex, manipulate people with sex, is to get them to do things you want because you're in charge, because you control the sex. It's like, no, I'll just fucking leave and I'll have sex with somebody that's mutually dignified and respectful and kind and doesn't lose it and attack me every time something reminds her of when she got bit by a bunny when she was fucking 3. I'm not that bunny biting you. Stop hitting me. So you leave and you don't come back. If a person can't understand what's happening in front of them and that it's not something that happened to them when they were 8 years old, and you keep reminding them and they keep treating you like they're 8 years old, you say, you fucking stay 8 years old. I'm going to go be 23 by myself. You know what I'm saying? That's what I had to do with Patrick's mother, and I still have to do that with Patrick's mother. You be 8, pissed off little victim that can't get up and say, oh, that's not happening to me right now, all by yourself. I'll be the 60-year-old who says, Lord's Prayer is perfect, and I'm the living example of it, and I got quantum computing working good. It's not my fault that these assholes manipulate everything else and then say, oh, and quantum computing will never save you. It's not meant to save you. You have to save yourself. The quantum computing is only to gain control of drones and robotics and banking industry technology for AI, for economics. It's not meant to invade people's houses and tell them you're not thinking right. It's not meant to do that. It's just meant to take control of technology. So technology works right because it's from right thought. Okay. I'm not going to invade people and say, if you don't live the Lord's Prayer, I'm going to kill you. I'm not like them. Okay. If you don't live the Lord's Prayer, you're going to kill others and yourself to try to be in control with technology, and you're pathetic. And quantum computing is quite aware of that. Okay, guys, I love you. All right, peace out.